We're going to bring a meeting to order for August 21st, 2025. And we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. First,
Roll call.
Commissioner Carson?
Here.
Commissioner Mason?
Here.
Commissioner Pride? Commissioner Rivers? Here. President Burnett?
Sir. Good, how you doing?
Thank you.
Good.
Are you ready for the pledge?
Yes, absolutely. Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic one nation under God, indivisible.
We're going to work on the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of the Park Board of Finance. Park Board and Finance. Held on
Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, Park Board and the Finance Committee, both held on July 17th, 2025, as presented.
Commissioner Carson?
Aye.
Commissioner Mason? Commissioner Pride? Commissioner Rivers?
Now we also want to welcome in our guests. Thank you for coming. And you are
My name is Robert Miller.
Robert Young.
Miller.
Miller, okay.
I'm resident of Zion.
Okay.
My interest today was I was looking at the food shelf out there, and I called inquired about it. And they told me to make it a board, and it's actually the first time I had to come up before, but I haven't lost. But I'm here now. But I actually wanted to put a bid in to see if I can work in to work with some of the kids, teach them some basic cooking classes, and to have service. And hopefully develop a nice little team and do some extracurricular thing for the young adults and give them a jump kickstart.
Oh, that sounds great. And have you submitted a proposal package or anything?
No, I haven't. This is actually my first time in I used to.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, fine.
Did I say-
Good with you about it?
Did we speak on the phone maybe last winter?
Yes.
I think you inquired about it,
Yes.
and I think I was the one that encouraged you to come to a board meeting.
Yes,
because,
sir.
So he's talking about the concession stand that Willie operates, and I told him the procedure that Willie will, make his presentation to the board, and that the park board approves Willie to operate that stand. So now that you're interested, I think that's great, and I can give you my business card, and you and I think, can have a conversation. Maybe you could put a little something together and then come back to the board this winter and maybe December or January or something like that. We'll know that you're interested,
Okay.
and then the board can make a decision to either have you operate the concession stand in Shiloh Park or Willie.
Oh, well, I would actually welcome him and actually have him since he's been here so long.
Yeah.
And he have a clientele with the around the area. If I can work with him. And,
Yeah.
we can build something together.
Yeah,
Have him relax a
Yeah.
little bit. Have him be like an ambassador or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm actually at the VA for 36 years, military retire, but I don't want to stop doing something. Working so long, and working every day, but if I just stop, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm momentum. I want to work a whole lot, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We can do
Okay. What types of foods are you bring? I know Brother Lee does hot dogs and other stuff.
basic, some of the same type of food. But I'm going to work more with hopefully I get some right across the street. And just kind of teach them history, or teach them basic cooking classes, basic skills, and give them a little jump start to if they want to actually go into the tech career. My basic stuff.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It is a great career. I have family in it. It's a great career, and I don't think a lot of kids actually are probably, like I said, involved in that. So I look forward to seeing, what you have to offer.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I said, definitely presented to me.
Okay. I think that's great. You're definitely early on in the process. Willie's just kind of finishing up now. I think he'll go to about October, and then that's my
Thank
business
you so
card.
much. Thank you.
That's my business card, and you can either come in and we can discuss it a little more to kind of get you ready.
Okay.
But I think it sounds great. And I think we're really happy to have your interest because I'm not sure how much longer Willie actually is looking to do it. So like you said, if you partnered with him and you guys ran it together, I think that would be nice.
Okay. Especially working with anyone else doing it. I'm actually start off cooking. I was 16 years old, my first job now. Fast food. General manager, went to the military, become a quality specialist, and I've been working in that field since then. I'm actually
Alright, well, okay, we have cards, please feel free, okay, and I'm sure because I really will enjoy the help,
Yeah.
because he's like, he's getting his summer up and just knowing which direction, that little place can go over there is just always great. The kids are always flocking over there, and it's great for them to have to do, because like I said, we were just talking about, one of the things that we do in terms of partnering with the camps and getting kids in the camp and stuff like that, so this kind of in that field, and, our superintendent here has a program very similar. She does a little programming with the kids and the chef coming out and doing lunches and meals and stuff like that. So it's very similar to something that we have. So it'll be good to hear your take on it.
all right.
Have you talked to Willie at all?
Spoken of before, I was interested in this. That's really made me.
Okay.
Every now and then, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I actually really want to get to talk to him,
Yeah.
what he is, something like that.
Yeah.
I see
Okay.
he's just closed now.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to get off topic.
Okay.
So we'll take a special visit over there.
Yeah. I think that'd be great. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kitchen. Kitchen, and lamb and grits and bread and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so moving on to what's next. It was good to have a visitor there. We want to approve our agenda for.
Yep. No changes to the agenda, so it can be approved as stated.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Carson?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner.
All righty, then we're gonna move right ahead to Commissioner Collins, and we're gonna start about. They're just waiting for me.
I don't need it.
Wow, there is so much happening in the Park District. I would shut up, but I just can't. Oh gosh, these events that we had at the Park District this month are just awesome. The 50th year celebration that Kay and executive director over there, Herman Park, Dave Johnson put together. Just amazing. I mean, the turnout was outstanding. The food, the services, the music, the exposure to the garden. It was really great. So I think the community just had an awesome time. I never seen so many people eating and just enjoying what the park district had to offer.
It kind of makes you raise your voice a little bit. The music was good, but it was loud. So I was trying to, I was kind of yelling in people's ears, but I did appreciate what she said. Took me on a tour of some of the area there and some of the paths and stuff. And so I learned a lot about what's available there and even the connections and the paths. So I mean, it really was interesting. When I left, a couple of ladies asked me what's going on here, so I had a long talk with them too. And, we have housing needs, but I said,
Yeah.
anyway, so I should have said, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and yeah, it was good. You were there, yeah. So that, and what else do we have going on? We also had the Marnet Festival that was here. Oh my goodness. Sherry Neal, our township supervisor, did an awesome job with that. And all the other partners partner agencies, Joyce Mason, Family First, just to name a few, Hamid, it was just awesome. Giant Exchange Club, which also is housed here. It was good to see some of the pastor. There's a pastor that's actually has service over there in her park, so it was just really full. The whole park was just the band shell, everything, and the ice cream contest. So there was a lot going on here for the month of August. So, with no further ado, if you didn't have anything to say, anybody else didn't have anything to say, we're just going to move right on to our attorney's report. And
The light show. But I love the light show. The last 2 years, the light show was awesome. The video you sent us today, that was good.
Thank you. Staff did a great job. I mean, that's a team effort of all departments throughout the park district to come together and put on those kind of big special events.
and not to mention about the golfing and the band at the Bell Putting Greens.
The bellwether, yep.
The Bellwethers. Oh my goodness, we got such a blast out there. I mean, the music was awesome. The weather was great. Never seen so many women covering that entire putting green. Just it was a really nice event, and the music was so good. Just the entire place was just nice. Even it was really full. It was just everybody had a lot of things to say about what was going on there. And the new greens that the women just are just they were saying how difficult they were, but yet they just loved it because it was just the way it was organized and it was laid out, the design of it and all that. So just to say that Alan and whoever else designed that putting green did a really good job. And I think it's going to stay packed from here going forward. Your wife came too.
Oh my God, that's why.
Yeah.
You guys, my wife and her two friends, they are hooked. They love that idea. Uh, as a golfer, what he did over there is tremendous because I would just go by there just to practice putting because he has that thing laid out and it goes as it is. Those babies, I was like the first time I came with them. I was like, I couldn't believe how much fun they had.
Yeah.
And my wife, to her question is this something that's going to continue? Will they have it again next year?
I hope.
The ladies, all the ladies I saw out there, they really loved
Yeah, I hope so.
It was a time to be had.
Great.
Okay, so now we're gonna have our attorney report. No,
Oh yeah, no report from the attorney this month.
and the approval of the purchase for the month of July, the amount of $1,000,000. And
Commissioner
next,
Krause?
Aye.
Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Aye.
Like,
and now we have the executive director.
Yeah, just a couple things here quickly. I wanted to make the board aware that July was officially proclaimed by Governor Pritzker as Park and Recreation Month of Illinois. So I think that's great for our industry to now officially celebrate the parks and recreation profession. So parks, obviously, as everyone knows, like I have written here, help build stronger, healthier, more connected communities, and to have it kind of be officially recognized at the state level is very beneficial for us when legislators are looking at legislation. They'll see and consider the effect that it'll have on the parks industry. And it also is very helpful to us for grant opportunities. Obviously, we received grants from the Department of Natural Resources in recent years of $400,000 and $600,000 for Shiloh and David Park, and then we were recently allocated $250,000 from Mary Edley Allen's office. So it just shows you how our legislators in Springfield, really recognize and value the importance of parks. really helpful for us, and it's great to see. Just a couple other things as we work through the report that I wanted to highlight. At Herman Park, which we were just talking about, they had a nice Go Zion event. So those are all the participants you can see there in the picture. Had about 25 people attend that Go Zion event, which is just kind of a walk around the area. You can see an event there for the senior program where they went out to lunch. I believe that location they were out at Starved Rock for a senior trip to lunch. There's a couple pictures of some of our campers. These are the special recreation campers that Teresa um, manages and oversees that camp. So you can see them there at the Shiloh Center, and then takes them on other fun activities as far as bowling and other activities. And then our camp director Trayvon Johnson, who has been in the boardroom a few times, and I think we've all talked about Trey's personality, just a really fun outgoing guy, and he leads camp, and he had probably about 50 campers or so, 40 campers or so each week. And again, the camps run out of the Shiloh Center, and it was really helpful, to have Shiloh Park finished. That was one of the things that both campers and the camp staff and Trayvon had said. It was like, oh, we got so much use out of Shiloh Park with camp this summer that it was just great to have right there. So camp obviously has wrapped up now that all the kids are back in school, but I think our staff did a great job, and kids had a great, fun summer camp experience. As I mentioned before, too, the pool is closed down, but this is a nice picture from our Glow Swim Under the Stars event that was held on a Friday evening at the end of July. Had over 100 participants come out to the Glow Swim Under the Stars event. And then also, in partnership with ZBTHS, their swim team used the pool for a couple weeks for their swim camp. So we do have a real good partnership with the high school where, I don't know if you drove by earlier, but their cross country teams were out, running around the vicinity here. And we'll host a cross country meet coming up soon. What day is it? Yeah. So, and then obviously we use their natatorium, and they'll use their outdoor pool for their swim camp. So just a great partnership with the high school. You can see the continued increased visits at our Sports Arena Fitness Studio downstairs. Again, on pace to break the prior year's record for daily visits. This was a Pokemon Go, pictures from a Pokemon Go event that Lance Barnes, who was one of our recreation staff, who he managed that event, and he had a great turnout. There's still a lot of people into Pokemon. I know it was big a few years ago, but you could see here by the turnout that those people had a really fun time, and they had at the end of it, handed out special boxes of Pokemon cards and had a raffle at the event. So just another little event, that some people aren't aware of. As we talked about Herman Park, and David Osborne, here's some pictures from his camp. Some of his camp counselors doing some arts and crafts type things, doing the camp participants. Here's a picture of the garden over there on the left that Doug had talked about that we kind of walked around during the 50th anniversary to the community garden that we operate, where people from the community can come in and pick fresh vegetables and other things from the garden, and the campers from Herman Park will be out there, working the garden and working with the garden club that Kay coordinates through the University of Illinois Extension. Here's a picture of our favorite Mr. Osborne in front of his zinnias in front of Herman Park. So David takes so much pride in Herman Park. I mean, it truly is his second home. And he did a great job, as he always does, with the flowers out there and the landscape and everything like that. So he was the Color Sign Contest winner for his prize zinnias there. So congrats to David. He really does a good job to make that facility as nice as it can be. Oh, and we had our Salem Play Area. I suppose that's another one that probably one of the things we didn't mention earlier was Salem Play Area, our official opening for that top lot, which is like a 2 to 5 lot off of Salem. You can see President Fermate there cut the ribbon, and we had a really nice turnout for that event. We did it in kind of combination with a school supply giveaway. I thought that was a great idea by Kay and Christine to also kind of couple that with a school supply giveaway where we gave out 180 backpacks, full of school supplies. And Dave cut the ribbon, and it was a really nice time. And we also had the touch a truck the fire department was out as well, the fire truck, and allowing kids to kind of learn a little bit about fire truck too. So it was a nice event. Weather was great. Yeah, there's the fire truck. Dave cutting the ribbon. So other than that, we talk in here a little bit too. I don't want to bore people with some of the statistics on some of our digital marketing efforts that Christine works through. There's some data in there if anyone had any questions on that. So, and some of the digital marketing efforts in some of the different locations will be like if you're at Gurney Mills or if you're at the Waukegan Fieldhouse or something like that, it'll know that you're in that proximity, and then it will show you an ad for Zion Park District, right? So, people that are out maybe in Wakanda or north part of Kenosha or something like that, we're not necessarily trying to advertise to those people, but based on your phone's location, it will know that you're in like one of these circles that we marked, and it will bring up advertisements on your phone. I don't know if you've ever seen one, maybe. But that's kind of a neat thing that we've been doing about the last year or so. And I think we've been getting good feedback from it. Other than that, there's a change out of the old pool heater. So that is fully in. Now that the pool is actually drained of water, they will do the final testing and inspection, and it needs to get inspected by the Illinois Department of Public Health to make sure it meets all the requirements and that it's safe, to operate with the water that we're, running through there at the pool. They'll do that final part in the spring when we start back up. Now that the pool is out. But the new heater is in, which is great because we have kind of a dual heater system. Rich can answer more than any questions about it. We've been operating effectively on just like one full heater for years. And now we have a new one in there. I believe the board approved that. It was a while ago. The board approved that heater install. It's about a $50,000 heater install. January. Oh yeah, and I think some people were aware of that. On July 9th, we had a car going to the pond over at Shiloh Grove. So this, my understanding, it was a police chase. No, I think it was three young people trying to evade the police, and they crashed through the fence and ended up in the pond.
Oh,
Yeah, that was July 9th. Yeah.
no, well,
What did you hear?
I heard some lady from China was running from the police,
Yeah, police chase.
and her boyfriend called. He ended up resigning.
I don't know all the specifics of what the people's situation was. I just know that they ended up in our pond. Yeah. So our golf maintenance staff had that section of the fence repaired by 10 a.m. the next morning. Yeah, and they had it marked off. Our rangers and park maintenance had that section marked off with caution tape and cones and everything like that shortly after they got the car out. So this is again Alan's golf report. So that's about all for my report in.
Now we're gonna move on to our new business, which is Dowie bike path. Our-
Yeah, I just wanted to give the park board, maybe a little general overview of this. I'm sure all aware of it now if you've been driving around. You know, you can see all the significant work that Lake County DOT is doing on the McClory Trail. So they're rehabbing pretty much the entire McClory Trail from Winthrop Harbor, you know, through Zion Beach Park, Waukegan, North Chicago, and they're going all the way down to Highland Park and Highwood. Again, that McClory Trail is the county's trail. We have an older trail that runs parallel to it, Galilee Trail, and I mean, it's just a project you can see on my screen there that, you know, they've been working on for almost 2 years as far as getting everything in line. They're paving the trail. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but you'll see right now they've got a lot of the paving work done for the trail going north-south, and they've got a lot of the transitions from like road to street torn up as well. They've got them all marked out now because where the trail, and let me show you here, where some of the trail connections come off. There's a map of kind of the project route. And then they're putting in some switchbacks off of McClory Trail. So you can see in pink there at the top where it used to go more straight and just dead end here. Now they're doing a switchback more so in some situations so they can get like an ADA grade. So it's got more of a grade on it that's ADA accessible. And then you can see where this one meets Galilee Ave. You know, there's county code that each side of the street off of the trail has to have, you know, I would say just like a landing space or just a space where it's safe to cross the street. So they're kind of putting those in now if you drive around. One of the things that is positive, us go back up, and I had shown Doug this when we were out at Herman Park. This is one of the bridges that comes off of McClory Trail and then leads to a series of bridges that goes behind the Hebron Townhomes to Herman Park. We have like three large bridges back there, just foot bridges. And they're gonna make this connection, you know, redo this connection that's coming off of McClory to that bridge. So that's really great for a lot of people that use that. That is honestly a pretty heavily used pathway from the McClory Trail back to Herman Park. And a lot of kids use that in the summer, those bridges to get to Herman Park State. They come from the townhomes there, the apartments there. But, what's that, Jess? You've driven a golf cart on that? I'm not sure if you're supposed to.
No, I used to walk.
Oh, you used to drive it when you worked?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to give just because it's happening in Zion, it's really not a park district project, but it is a nice benefit for our community. So, yeah.
It's helpful to know this because when I go running and stuff, I'm county land and you know, probably
Yeah.
or something. I
Right.
see some things and I wonder who should I ask about it because
Right, whose project is that? Yeah.
who to ask, so I mean, it's good to get those. Sometimes it's signage, you know, to reach, you know, after I got my post up. So that would figure out, but then, you know, I'm never sure. And sometimes it's some things that are kind of trying to figure out. Or a tree down.
Yeah.
You know, like people make a path around some trees.
Yeah.
No, it's not on our property. We take care of it. But,
We tried. Yeah.
I don't know who to ring the bell for. We just go around it and we can pass.
Yeah, it could be the city, could be the county, could be, you know.
Now we're gonna move on to the resolution approving property to city of Zion.
Yes, so if you recall, I think it was back in October of 2024, so you know, about 10 months ago or so, the representatives from the city were here talking about their desire to build a new fire station on the west side of town. And at that time, the board was supportive of selling them 4 acres of property, of Park District property, right on 173. I can kind of point to it here. Up here. So this is the property here. About about half of this actually is what we're gonna sell to the city of Zion for them to build a fire station. So they're gonna build their fire station. So over the last 8 months or so, since the park board said they were supportive of that idea, they've been working with their construction company and doing all the plans and stuff like that. And within the last month or so, we've been working with their attorney to come up with the agreement for the actual sale of the property. So that's what this agenda item is. It's kind of like the final agreement. Park District will be compensated $120,000 for that property, and then my understanding is the city's going to move kind of as quickly as they can to start building that fire station.
Yeah,
Stuff for 173.
are they gonna remove the one that's on Lewis that's right next to that? There's one
Is
right
it I two?
Fire Station 2? I think so. You know, and they've got that desire because the west side of town is growing more with new homes and things like that. They feel they need to have a fire station a little farther to the west, and they really struggle to find property, and so that's when they approach us. What about Station 1?
No, this station one,
What do you mean Stage 1?
I understand they want to move, but
Not that I've heard. I have not heard that. Um,
everything hard in the
I mean, yeah,
I'm not talking.
there's not enough space on that property for them to do that. Yeah, they would not be able to build all of that on that 4 acre property. A lot of that, actually, kind of the back half of that property is almost like wetland property, so they're going to have to really stay on the northern half of that property up near 172. Yeah.
I was wondering, because they are building a lot of new homes, and just wondering how many parks are they utilizing? Because that was one of the things that they complained about in the Laura Acres subdivision and the Tennessee Club Hill subdivision, that they only had like that one park for all of those
Yeah.
homes. So we're kind of doing the same thing when it comes to the area over there by Shepherd's Crossing, Shepherd's Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're building new homes over there. And I saw like one park, I think it was like Harmony Park or something like that.
Yep.
And for all those different homes and all those areas, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
if they're going to build a park, there's another. It makes sense to build a fire department.
Yeah.
Where all those kids playing at.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, we do operate about 20 parks throughout Zion.
The land we're talking about is in city.
Yeah.
You say the whole thing in the resolution. It's not like we're taking away anything.
No, we're not taking away anything. That land was actually donated to us probably about 8 years ago or so. There was a restriction on that donation from the donor that he didn't really want anything built on it other than perhaps maybe a trail. We went back and met with the donor, myself, and the city administrator and the fire chief went back to the donor and said, would you be amenable to a fire station being built on 4 acres of the property? And he said, you know what, yes, I will support that. So no problem.
Maybe like a little police hub or something.
Right there? Probably not there. I don't think they have enough room, but I don't know what the city's plans are. But they definitely need a new city hall. They definitely need a new police station.
No, like a little police hub, like
Like a
downtown
little, like,
Waukegan,
like a
they have
service station, kind of like a substation.
substation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Substation, right? So you really have like next to the Walmart, but in that area would be nice.
Yeah.
We have to read this resolution into the minutes. How does that work? What do you need from us?
No, I think if you could just you can just make the motion, Doug, kind of as stated on agenda item number 10.
Because I mean,
They want to build not understanding
That's my understanding what the city's plan is. That's my understanding of
The
their
city
plan.
wants to build
They're replacing the old one. There's the one that's there. It's probably pretty old. I don't know how old it is, but I'm sure it's got to be pretty old.
From what I understand,
I know the one you're talking about.
That was, yeah.
from what I understand, that facility, the existing station two, is in pretty bad shape. So, to rehab versus build new, because as soon as you open up Pandora's box, you know, kind of renovating, everything has to be all brought up to code and so on and so forth. It's easy to just go back to the drawing board. And they're trying to push a little farther west to accommodate the housing. Yeah.
Since this has been, discussed and agreed upon.
So could you make it just on that top bowl?
Yeah.
It's still small. It's as big as I can get it. We might need a bigger TV.
No. Make a motion to approve the resolution that approves the conveyance of property to the city of Zion and approving an intergovernmental agreement as presented on this
Oh,
Commissioner Kraus?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner.
okay, tonight, moving on to item number 11, the county green book property acquisition year.
Yeah, so this is just an interesting opportunity that was presented to us. We have not talked about this previously, but Lake County will, it's called their green book properties. And so when properties, taxes get unpaid on a property, the county takes it over. Okay? And as part of their, for unpaid property tax. And so the county takes it over, and they reached out to us as part of what they call their Good Neighbor program because we had adjacent property on this specific piece. So this is a section of land down by Edina Park. If you can kind of see that faint yellow rectangle, and I can point it out here as well on the map. So obviously all of this property in green is Park District property, but right here is the property that we're talking about. We don't own this property, but it has fallen into Lake County's hands for unpaid taxes. We have the opportunity to get this property for $250. And I was talking to the county tax department and made me aware of that opportunity. So I thought it was a great thing to bring to the board to gauge your interest on obtaining that property and adding to our significant kind of holdings down there on Edina. We wouldn't have any plans to develop that. It would just be, part of our, mission that falls under like conservation and land preservation and preserving natural habitats, and providing open lands for the community and things like that. Not off the top of my head, I don't.
It wasn't posted. My grandson Ian, I used to take him down there. We called it Ian Island.
Oh.
We kind of took it over for ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And got stuck in the mud sometimes. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the area. It's kind of fun to
Yeah.
immortalize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we call it Ian Island. Is that asking too much?
Yeah, we could informally call it that for sure. Go ahead, Rich wants to add in.
Just to kind of show you the future home of the maintenance facility, this quadrant right here.
Yeah. So that's been cleared. That's the about how many acres of that is that, Rich? How many acres? 2.5? Yeah, so that's a 2.5 acre parcel of property that we got from the city for free.
But the part here, that's
Yeah.
$250. That I think I read that's when we get first price. Not like there's going to be any bidding on that, right? Is something we get for that, or what's the process after we?
So my understanding is it does go up for bid. As a government entity, the minimum bid that we have to put in is $250. There could be someone else bidding, let's say, I don't know, $5,000 for that property. But what the county likes to see is they like to see land like this go to someone that has neighboring property. They like to see it go to a government organization that they know is going to be a responsible steward of the property. And then we'll write a letter to the county to kind of make our case as to why we would be a good choice for that property.
What is down the center of that
Right here.
great area, tree, box?
Oh, down the center. Yeah, that's just wetland. So
Oh,
yeah, that's why I would say like we wouldn't really develop it for any reason. It would just kind of add to our
For
property.
anybody else, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not gonna build a building there.
You know, I don't know if somebody might be able to put something real small on the north side here. I don't know. Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe, right? We would not, but
So is it a one-time bid? It's not like you're bidding
Correct.
against somebody, like in a room. So it'd be sealed bid for the
Correct.
room. So, but they wouldn't be required to, who owns it now?
the county technically is the owner now.
So they wouldn't be required to take the highest bid.
No, they're
Take
not required to.
considerations.
yeah, and I seen that the VA has made the train track.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
that is lovely. And it would be nice to put a little building around the corner of that.
Rented booths.
But yeah, I mean, it really kind of fills in that puzzle piece that we're missing down there, you know. And I think it's always good when we can expand the park district.
It really has gone, I mean, it's very natural.
Yeah.
Nothing been done to it, and God takes care of that stuff nicely too. So I mean, it makes sense that you keep it in its natural state. You want to go there. And if we can keep it, it makes sense to do that. Yeah, not keep it, but add that.
Right. So we have, tennis courts to the upper left there. Well, actually, not tennis court now; it's just the basketball court, right? Because that was what the board approved to keep the basketball court, but demo the tennis court. So there is a basketball court there, kind of where the green circle is, and then as you follow our Edina bike path there to the north, it leads you up to Edina Park Playground.
Which is also sometimes slated.
Yeah.
Up to 200,000.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
So the whole area would be.
Yeah, it would be great.
Sense
It'd be a
where-
great, beautiful area. Yeah.
And with the building.
Yeah, eventually a maintenance building on that empty site there is a great place for a maintenance building for a lot of reasons.
We need to make a motion to
Submit a bid for the Lake County Regional property.
I'd like to make that motion. We would, submit the bid of $200 to the Lake County Regional Property Acquisition.
Second.
Carlson?
Aye.
So I think that we have a executive session with all of us, right? Do you think we can go to executive session for purposes of discussing?
Okay.